English, when we talk about the present, we use different verbs. For example, verb be and other verbs. Let's see how we form sentences. For example, he's a project manager. He works in London. Let's take a look at the formula of this sentence. So what is he? Of course, it's a subject here. What about here? A verb. And the rest will be object. Okay, when we have he, we will use is. Is. What else do we use with is? Of course, it and she. Okay, what about if we have I, we, they, you? We will use what if we have I? We will use am. What if we have we, they, you? We will use are. Every time we have object, it can be a noun, an adjective, an adverb, we will use am as are. In positive sentences like this, it's a positive sentence, and in negative, so he, she, it, isn't. I'm not. And we, they, you aren't. Okay, here, isn't, aren't, short form, full form? Yes, they are short forms. How about here? What would be the short forms? She's, his, it's. Here, I am, and you're, we're, there. Great. They were sentences with be. What about sentences with other verbs like work, swim, go, do? We, again, we have the subject, we have the verb, and the object. The formula is the same. But what do we add to the verb? We will add s or es. When we have he, she, or it. If we have I, we, they, you, we will just use a verb. These are positive sentences. How about negative? So if it's he, she, it, we will use doesn't and infinitive. For example, he doesn't work in London without s, because s is in does. And if we have I, we, they, you, we will use don't and infinitive. Okay, what do we call this tense? Present simple. How to understand? To use be, am as are, or to use a verb. If we have a verb in a sentence, we don't use any other verbs. We don't use am, we don't use is here. If we don't have a verb, we will use be. These actions, they are about the present, the past. Of course, they are about the present because present simple. Of course, present facts. Also, for example, he works in London. It can be a present fact or a regular action. How do we know this action is regular? Of course, because of some words. Let's look at these words. If it's 0% of your time, it's never. 100% of your time, it's always. This is often. It's usually. This sometimes. Or 10% rarely. What question do they answer? They answer question how often. Yeah, how often do you do something? And what do we call them? We call them adverbs of frequency. Where do we put them in a sentence? For example, let's take another sentence. I am late. Let's use never here. We'll mark them as a star. So I am never late. Great. So we use them after be. After be. What about here with another verb? For example, he takes orders. Let's use rarely. Okay, in this case it will be here before the main verb or after be. Before a verb. Okay, thank you very much.